We have some exciting news today. We've just got our first real look at Samsung's One UI 7 running on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Yes, you heard that right. Even though Samsung recently announced at its developer conference that One UI 7, based on Android 15, won't be officially released until next year, we managed to spot an early build running on the S24 Ultra. And let me tell you, the changes are huge. So let's dive into everything we've learned about One UI 7 so far. First things first, One UI 7 is shaping up to be a major overhaul in terms of design and functionality. Samsung is really stepping up its game, and from what we've seen, the interface feels sleeker and more modern. The redesign touches just about every corner of the UI, from app icons to the notification shade and even the quick toggles. It's all about making things cleaner and more intuitive. One of the biggest changes comes in the form of the camera interface. Samsung has moved most of the camera controls to the bottom of the screen, making it much easier for one-handed use. This is a move that really embraces the core philosophy of One UI, focusing on user accessibility and ease of navigation. If you're a fan of multitasking, you're in for a treat too. The recent app screen has been redesigned and now bears a striking resemblance to iOS App Switcher, giving it a more streamlined and functional look. In a series of videos shared from the conference, we got to see One UI 7 in action on the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and it looks fantastic. The app icons are more refined, and the overall interface feels less cluttered compared to One UI 6. Samsung has clearly worked on polishing every detail. One feature that stood out to us was the updated vertical app drawer. This was previously only available through Samsung's Good Lock app, but it now seems to be a standard option, giving users even more control over how they organize their apps. Good Lock, of course, will continue to offer deeper customization for those who love to tweak their UI further. Samsung has also tweaked the Settings app, giving it a more streamlined look, and the battery indicator has been slightly redesigned. These changes were hinted at in earlier leaks, but it's great to finally see them in action. Now, some of you might notice that One UI 7 seems to borrow quite a bit from Apple's iOS. The split notification panel, the new camera interface, and even the color theme in the Gallery app feel like they've taken inspiration from iOS. Whether that's a good or bad thing really depends on personal preference, but from what we've seen, these changes work well in the context of Samsung's design language. One thing that will likely be appreciated by most users is the smoother animations. Rumors have suggested for a while now that One UI 7 would bring more fluidity to the interface, and from our hands-on experience, those rumors seem to be true. The entire UI feels faster and more responsive, which will be a welcome improvement for Samsung users. So why the long wait for the official release? Well, based on what we've seen, it's clear that Samsung is putting a lot of work into making sure this update is as polished as possible. While some fans might be disappointed that One UI 7 won't be available until next year with the release of the Galaxy S25. The redesign is extensive and the changes are significant, so it makes sense that Samsung wants to get everything right before the public rollout. Plus, with a build this early looking so promising, the final version could be even better. What do you think about One UI 7 so far? Are you excited about the changes? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on Samsung and all things tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. The smartphone industry is constantly evolving, with each new year bringing us flagship devices that push the boundaries of technology and design. In this video, we'll be taking a close look at the two biggest names in the smartphone world right now: Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max and Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra. Both phones are powerhouses in their own right, but how do they stack up against each other? Let's dive into the battle of the bigs. Design and size. As expected, Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max doesn't deviate much from its predecessor when it comes to design. The rectangular shape, soft corners, flat sides, and dynamic island pill-shaped cutout remain. This year, however, the screen has grown from 6.7 inches to a massive 6.9 inches, making it the largest display ever on an iPhone. Its bezels are even thinner, but the overall dimensions have changed slightly, measuring 163mm by 77.6mm. In comparison, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is slightly smaller at 162.3mm in height, but a bit wider at 79mm, making it easier to handle for users who love to use the S Pen for sketching or taking notes. Speaking of the S Pen, Samsung once again offers the stylus nestled into the bottom of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It's a feature that remains unique to Samsung in the flagship market, and one that many users either love or ignore completely. The precision of the S Pen, developed in partnership with Wacom, is something to be admired, making it a fantastic tool for creative tasks. Apple, on the other hand, introduces some new tricks with its buttons. The Action button, which debuted in the iPhone 15 Pro series, returns, offering customizable functions for launching apps or activating Siri shortcuts. But the real star of the show is the new Camera Control button. This physical key, equipped with a capacitive surface, allows users to control the camera with a swipe, much like a traditional camera shutter button, enhancing the photography experience. Both phones come in sleek color options. The iPhone 16 Pro Max offers titanium finishes in white, black, natural, and the new Desert Titanium. Meanwhile, Samsung gives users a broader selection with titanium violet, yellow, black, and gray, and 3 exclusive colors if you order directly from Samsung's website. Display differences. When it comes to display, both phones boast impressive technology. The iPhone 16 Pro Max features a 6.9-inch OLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate and an always-on display that can drop its refresh rate to just 1 Hz, keeping your wallpaper or photos visible even when the phone is asleep. Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra comes equipped with its signature AMOLED screen, also featuring a 120Hz refresh rate and an always-on display. However, Samsung has a slight edge here with its anti-reflective coating, which makes the screen much easier to see outdoors. In contrast, the iPhone struggles with reflections in bright sunlight despite its high brightness. Color accuracy is another area where the two phones differ slightly. The iPhone's display leans towards a yellowish hue, while the Galaxy has a bit of a teal tint. But with both phones offering blue light filters and adaptive color calibration, these differences are minimal in day-to-day use. One new feature for the iPhone 16 Pro Max is its ability to drop to an incredibly low 1 nit brightness level, making it easier on the eyes in dark environments. Samsung's display already hovers around this level, so both phones are excellent for nighttime use. Performance and software. Under the hood, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is powered by Apple's latest A18 Pro chip, built on a second-gen 3nm process by TSMC. This cutting-edge chip brings significant improvements in performance and efficiency, particularly when it comes to handling heavy tasks like gaming and AI-driven processes. Apple has also focused on better heat dissipation, addressing the overheating issues that plagued the A17 Pro chip. The Galaxy S24 Ultra, on the other hand, is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, specifically tuned for Samsung devices. While both chips are incredibly powerful, benchmarks show that Apple's A18 Pro takes the lead in CPU performance. However, in 3D graphics tests, the Galaxy S24 Ultra isn't far behind, offering stellar gaming performance. Both Apple and Samsung are pushing into the realm of AI, with dedicated NPU cores to handle AI tasks. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with Apple Intelligence, which will roll out new features gradually, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra already boasts AI-powered features like live translation, generative image editing, and transcript summaries. As for software, the iPhone runs iOS, which has seen some welcome changes this year, bringing it closer to the flexibility of Android. You can now place app icons anywhere on the home screen and even customize their colors. But if customization is what you're after, Samsung's One UI still reigns supreme with features like split-screen multitasking, themes, and more. Samsung has also stepped up its software update game, promising 7 years of updates for the Galaxy S24 Ultra, compared to Apple's 5-year commitment for the iPhone. Camera capabilities. Apple has made some significant upgrades to the cameras on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, particularly the ultra-wide camera, which now features a 48-megapixel sensor. The main camera remains at 48 megapixel, and the 5x telephoto camera comes with a 12-megapixel sensor. A new lens coating helps reduce the lens flare issue that has been prevalent in recent iPhone models, especially during night shots. Samsung, as always, is pushing the envelope with its camera hardware. The Galaxy S24 Ultra boasts a hopping 200-megapixel main camera, alongside a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, a 10-megapixel 3x telephoto, and a 50-megapixel 5x zoom camera. While the megapixel count might seem impressive, the real magic happens in post-processing. Both phones have excellent cameras, but Samsung has a slight edge in zoom performance, while the iPhone tends to over-sharpen fine details like leaves or grass. In low-light conditions, both phones perform admirably, but the iPhone's new lens coating helps reduce the flare and artifacts that can appear in night photos. Samsung, on the other hand, continues to struggle slightly with oversaturated greens in its images, but this is only noticeable when directly comparing photos side by side. Battery and charging. When it comes to battery life, both phones pack a punch. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has a 4,685 mAh battery, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra comes with a slightly larger 5,000 mAh battery. However, Samsung takes the lead in charging speeds, offering 45-watt wired charging compared to the iPhone's 20-watt. For wireless charging, Apple's MagSafe offers 25-watt, while Samsung's wireless charging maxes out at 15-watt. Conclusion. So, which phone is the better choice? It's a tough call. The iPhone 16 Pro Max impresses with its sleek design, powerful A18 Pro chip, and improved cameras, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra excels with its S Pen, higher megapixel count, and faster charging speeds. Ultimately, it comes down to personal preference and whether you're more entrenched in Apple's ecosystem or Samsung's Android world. Either way, you're getting a top-tier smartphone that won't disappoint. What do you think about it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Until then, take care. Goodbye.